Hey guys, it's Ashley Ray from Let'sTalkRaceStyle.com. I know it's been a while and it's a lot going on, so let me just go ahead and get started. So, I'm always talking about how we have to be grateful and show gratitude for everything that we have and everything that we are and the things that we've overcome. And I always use a family friend as an example of how people overcome things or how they deal with certain situations. And so you have to be happy, or not happy, you have to be grateful for where you are right now in life. Like, we're all excelling and working towards more things, whether it is, financial goals, whether we want to move, whether we want a new job, whether we want a family, whether, whatever it is. We're always striving for more. But I always say, like, you can never get more unless you are grateful for where you are and what you have right now. So anyhow, for the last 2 weeks, I have been kind of like on edge. And I had just mentioned to two of my friends, like, I think I've been on edge for the last 2 weeks because my family friend, her name is Keisha, stopped chemo. And this was on Monday, actually, when I literally said this to two of my friends. Like, I think that's what it is. And on Monday, I was just like really jittery and I couldn't understand why. Like, why am I like this? So I get home, take off my clothes, because that's what everyone does when, as soon as they get home, you work in the office, you're like, oh, let me get out of these clothes. I relax a little bit, and then my aunt calls me and she's like, hey, Ash, what are you doing? I'm like, nothing. She's like, are you at home? I said, yes, I'm at home. And she's like, I just called you to let you know that Keisha passed. And my heart just broke. It really did. I'm sorry. I'm going to try not to cry. But it really did, because as I stated in the beginning, she was always my example of why we need to be in the moment and appreciate everything. Because even in moments where she shouldn't have been worried about anyone but herself, she was always concerned about other people. She was still showing up to work when she was able to. And you have people constantly complaining about their jobs and how, I don't feel good and blah 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 blah. And she was literally battling cancer. And so many of us know people, I'm sorry guys, many of us know people who battle cancer, are in a battle with cancer right now, lost their battle with cancer, or survived their battle with cancer. So there are plenty of days when they don't feel well at all. And so for her to still have that motivation and, still want to do things and not complain. And she felt like she didn't want to be like a burden on people, even though she never was. That was just her mindset. Like, she always kept a level head and was always grateful. And I just really want people to take that in account. Like, you don't know what people are going through when you run across them and you're being nasty, or you're having a bad day and you're taking it out on people. You take it out on strangers. I see it all the time. Somebody's having a bad day. They go to the grocery store. They take it out on the cashier, And it's just like, you don't know what that person is going through. You don't know what their life is like at home. So you just have to be kind to people and you have to be grateful. And so I've been dealing with that all week. It's just really, really hurtful, Keisha was an amazing person, very sweet, very kind-hearted. She's a wife and a mom, someone's daughter, someone's sister, someone's cousin, someone's friend. And it's just so sad. It's heartbreaking. So that has been extremely heavy on my heart and mind. And I think yesterday was the only day that I didn't cry about it. I didn't expect to cry right now in this video. Sorry, guys. But I just really wanted to express that. So be grateful, for the small things, because everyone doesn't have good health. Everybody doesn't have supportive family members. Everyone doesn't have a husband. Everyone doesn't have children. There's so many people that complain about their kids. Not saying that you can't complain, because I get it. You get tired. Kids are kids. They ask a million questions. They do this and do that. But at the end of the day, just remember that they're kids, and that, someone is not going to be able to see their child grow up. Or there are several people that don't get to see their children grow up, either because the parent dies or the child dies. So try to keep those things in your mind, like even when you're frustrated with your kid or whomever, like, this could be my situation. Let me calm down and let me just be grateful for this child. There are people who can't have children. So just think about that when you guys are complaining about certain things. I'm sorry, I'm not trying to be a Debbie Downer, but I really just would like for more people to see the glass half full versus half empty, or stop just trying to find things to complain about, period. All right? So anyway, appreciate your life right now, where it is, what you can do, and don't be afraid to help people. That's huge to me. With, oh my God, everything going on with the coronavirus, I actually know 2 people who have the virus. So it's a very real thing, and I know that a lot of people were skeptical about, how it came about and how it's spreading, and the reaction from the governor. I'm in Michigan, so Governor Gretchen Whitmer and the governors of other states as well. Excuse me, you guys, I definitely need this wine after I just cried like that. Okay, hold on. Prosecco. Anyway, so, people were thinking that everybody's overreacting, but we're missing the point. The point is, if we had real leadership in the White House, then none of this would be happening. So since we didn't have any real leadership, or we don't have any real leadership, and the disease has just been spreading, companies have to take matters into their own hands. And that's why they started taking precautions before the governor even mandated these certain things, because at the end of the day, they have to protect their business, and part of protecting their business isn't protecting their employees. So you don't want one of your employees to get sick and spread this all around, the office, the plant or factory, whatever you want to call it. We call it plants here, but factory, and get everybody sick. So companies start making their own choices, and then the governor stepped in like, hey, this is what has to happen because this thing is spreading. People are dying. We're finding out more and more different things about it. It's just a scary time, I feel like, for a lot of people right now. I'm scared, but I'm not. It's kind of weird. Like, I'm not in panic, and part of it, I think, is because of the situation that I just discussed about my family friend. And so I just feel like what's gonna happen is gonna happen. But on the other hand, we can take precaution as far as keeping your ass in the house. All right, now I did go to the grocery store today, but I don't plan on going anywhere else. Do you understand me? Nowhere. I don't plan on leaving this home, these quarters. Do you guys like my new background? Just let me know. I don't know. I'll probably go back to the purple, but anyway, yeah. So stay in the house. Like, it's very real. It gets you very sick, especially if you already have some type of illnesses. It seems like people who already have some type of like autoimmune disease, diabetes, high blood pressure, asthma, like, it really, really messes with you in a way that causes people to become hospitalized. I've also heard a story about a lady that's 89 years old that contracted the coronavirus, and she didn't leave her house. So I don't really know. And I think that's what's most nerve-wracking to a lot of people, is that we're hearing so much different information and we're not really sure what the what is, you know? And I kind of feel like the people in power, don't know either. Either they really don't know, or they're hiding or suppressing certain information from the public in order to relax us, in a sense, for lack of a better word. But it's like they're trying, like they could be trying to protect us from something greater, you know. But from what I've been hearing, or from the people that I know have it, flu-like symptoms. So, you know, cough, achy body, congestion. Someone said that they couldn't smell or taste anything for a little while. Of course, the shortness of breath. So it really does sound like the flu, but from my understanding, it feels a little worse. Also, fluid being on the lungs, which is pneumonia technically, but apparently there's a certain level that is on the lungs when a person has coronavirus. So what I've actually seen is that they are still advising people to stay at home. Even if you feel these things, they're advising that you stay at home and quarantine, not even come to the hospital, because if you don't have coronavirus and you go to the hospital, you can get it from being in the hospital with other people that have coronavirus, or that have been in the waiting room that have coronavirus. So it's just really crazy right now. Like, it really is. So I think I was watching like VH1 last night, and this message kept coming up saying, like, if you feel sick, stay at home for 14 days. If you think you have coronavirus, stay at home for 14 days. If you don't have coronavirus, stay at home. Like, if you don't have to leave the house, don't leave the house. I'm not leaving the house anymore, I promise. But all I have gone to was like the grocery store, and I wore gloves. I sanitized my hands. I sanitized my keys. I sanitized my debit card. I sanitized my steering wheel. Like, I did what I could do. But it sounds like, you know, regardless, we're susceptible to it. So let's just, you know, do our part. We've survived, you know, some pretty terrible things in our lifetime. Well, in my lifetime. When my senior year in high school started, Aaliyah died in a plane crash. That was quite devastating, especially because she was a friend to my sister. And the high school that I went to was the same high school that she went to. Then, in the midst of my senior year, 9/11 happened, which was absolutely insane. I'm sure, you know, you all know. And it's just like, this coronavirus just feels like another, I mean, it is a crisis. It really is. So be mindful of the things you do, but also be mindful of the things that you say. A lot of people have, Lord, I read a post about someone saying, oh, I decided to buy in bulk instead. And since I decided to do that, I have all the products that I need. It seems that only broke people are still concerned about prices during a pandemic. There's so much that could be said about that statement. First of all, it's rude. Second of all, it's disrespectful. You don't know what I know people who are pretty well off and are very price conscious about everything. But isn't that what they say? Like, that's how the rich stay rich, because they don't spend all their money on certain things. So my thing is, this is not the time to be ostentatious. So if you do make a certain amount of money and you can afford a certain amount of things, then great. You know, I'm happy for you, but that's not an excuse to make people feel bad or to say negative things about people that cannot. Because it's a statistical fact that poor people, the working poor, people in poverty, cannot afford to buy in bulk, even though it would save them money in the long run. It's having the lump sum of money up front that they don't have. I'm very sensitive to things like that, because I feel like in America, you know, we operate off of capitalism, which is bullshit, pretty much. Like, it's a way to keep people in competition with each other. It's a way to keep the poor poor and the rich rich, you know. And so I just felt like that was very ugly to say. So as I said, this is not the time to be ostentatious. Please be considerate of other people. Please don't go buying up everything. If you can help somebody that you know needs help, please do so. It doesn't hurt. It doesn't hurt to spend an extra $20 on someone who you know might need a pack of meat or some toilet tissue and some paper towel. I don't know. But this is not the time to separate. It's not the time to categorize. I'll say that. It's not a time to categorize how much money you make versus how much someone else makes. Because guess what? When you die, guess where you're going? You're going in the damn ground just like everybody else. And your paycheck, your savings, your 401k, your rainy day stash, all of that shit is going to be right here on earth. So check yourself, please, because it's ugly and I don't like it. What else do I have to say? I'm sorry, I got a little nice and nasty in that. I'm a little congested right now. Well, I'm a little more nasally than I normally am because I was sweeping and mopping all day yesterday and my allergies were like, oh, no. So I've been like sneezing nonstop and I'm still not done. I still need to dust my fireplace and wipe down these walls. Not that you all needed to know that or care, but I just thought I would throw that in there because, hey, we're being quarantined. So make yourself useful. You guys, there's a lot of people doing live concerts via Instagram, DJs going live. Let's not forget the art of reading. So much to read. There's so much to do. I've been writing. There's so much to do that doesn't even involve the internet. I think it's strange when people say that they're bored because I'm never bored, whether I'm quarantined or not. Like, I always have something to do. My work planner is full and so is my personal planner. So I don't know. Just do, you know, what we're supposed to do. Be responsible. Stay at home. If you don't feel good, you know, if you do feel good, still stay at home because we're supposed to be quarantined. This is the only way for now that we can keep each other safe and our loved ones safe. So just try to do that. Try to stay still or stay in your house. You don't have to stay still, but stay in your house. Be respectful. This won't last forever. Nothing ever does. And what else do I have to say? I don't know. Peace, love, and light. You all try to be safe out there. Appreciate that you have a home to stay in. Appreciate that you're alive and breathing right now. All right. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to this page. And also don't forget to visit my blog site, letstalkraystyle.com, which is also in the description. I did just post a new blog called Yanni Steam Me Please. So you might want to check that out. I need to go blow my nose. I know this video is probably trash, but hey, I am aiming for realness and not perfection, and that's what you're getting today. All right? So smooches.